there's the hits. April 2015. It was a great month. This is the first of 3 videos. Our first one is about our favorite first issues and news series that came out this month. Our second video is going to be about our very favorite comics of the month. We're each going to pick 2. One we're just going to briefly glaze over, and the other one we are going to sit and rant and try and sell you on. And then our last video is just a little fun one about our recent trip to the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, C2E2. I had fun.
It was a good time.
It was a good time.
It sucked.
To start things off, we're going to talk about our favorite first issues of April. A lot of people feel alienated when they look and see a series is already on issue 25, issue 40. Walking Dead's on what? 150 something?
Dead's on Walking Down.
Sorry, Mr. Kirkman. We won't talk like that anymore. But these are first issues. They just came out. You can go downtown to your comic book store and pick them up. They're usually there because no one's given them a chance yet. They just came out. So they are the gateways that can start you on a very long, expensive life of reading all the comics forever.
And we're excited about them having a future, which is important.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Kick it off, Seth.
All right, my honorable mention first issue is a Star Wars title, Kanan the Last Padawan. This is a story about a character from Star Wars Rebels, which is a cartoon that I don't watch.
Cool.
But that's one of the reasons I think that I enjoyed it so much, just because I have no baggage, no prior knowledge about this character, so I'm just jumping in clean. And it's right before Order 66 is started. That's where all the Jedis are assassinated or whatever. There's a lot of interesting issues explored between like what Republic control over a planet is like compared to Separatists, or like if you're going to compare it to the Empire reign of planets. Some cool training montages. It sets up for like some cool stuff in issues to come. It was my favorite Star Wars comic.
Really?
These first issues.
Well.
Absolutely.
Alright.
I don't feel like it's weighed down by anything else.
I gotta read it.
I still like OG Star Wars, even though I felt that OG Star Wars was dipping a lot into Darth Vader plot this month. My runner-up for favorite first of April 2015 is The Infinite Loop. I wrote a review for it on www.coverjudger.com. Basically, it's about time travel, which seems to be a little bit of a flooded market, but there seems to be, there's a lot of time travel going on right now. Time terrorists keep going and messing with time. Like one of the things they say that they do a lot is go mess with Abraham Lincoln, and what they do is leave anomalies, and our main character, Teddy, with the help of Ulysses, who is basically like the IT dude in India you call to get your Comcast fixed. He calls her from outside of the timescape and helps her identify / escape dangers of eliminating these time anomalies.
That's not really what the book's about. That's just the framework of the book.
That's the framework of the book, and what it gets into is a not very heavy-handed, but talking about love and how people have been ostracized for interracial couples, for religious reasons, and this one, it sort of has the flag up saying that love-wise, LGBTQ community is our fight, and gay rights, and gay stuff. She finds an artifact that she does not want to destroy. I don't want to give it away, but it was well done. The art is a little more cartoony than I normally go for, but I think it's going to get really good.
Colb, you're up. What do you got?
My honorable mention is Rebels. It's about the Revolutionary War, the American Revolutionary War. Brian Wood. The cool part about this is it's kind of the battles you haven't heard about, the historical aspects you haven't heard about. Ethan Allen is not just furniture. Things like that. You learn little snippets like that you probably took for granted. We were just discussing there's a very cool father-son dynamic that only gets 3 or 4 pages, but it's pretty fantastic. I was talking with Seth earlier. I kind of grew up in Virginia, so I was pretty saturated from an early point with the whole Revolutionary War, Civil War, because I lived right amongst it all and all the historical sites. So where I like historical stuff to a point, when I know exactly how the story went, etc., it's less exciting to me. So, but that being said, the art's great, the story's great, there's a nice drama being set up, and I want to know where it's going to go.
I really like Brian Wood. I love everything I've read by him. I wasn't
Very true.
like head over heels with the first issue, but it's a good starting point, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's definitely a setup issue. So
Got
it's hard to tell.
lots of faith in Brian Wood. So
Yeah.
those are our honorable mentions. Now we're gonna hit on the first issue that we thought was the best of the month, at least in a consensus sort of way. And we chose Bloodshot Reborn.
Valiant.
We do it pretty
Universe.
diplomatically, right? We vote,
This month I was just kind of railroading.
I think basically, yeah.
Okay, I thought it was the most interesting first issue. There's been a lot of talk about the Valiant Entertainment universe, movie deals. Bloodshot's going to be a movie soon. I just remember it from as a kid, and until now, I can't say that I've read anything about him except in the Valiant, which is their like Avengers Unity Squad thing.
We've all been getting into the Valiant universe, though. We've been reading the new books by Valiant, and while I didn't choose this issue, like we said before, I actually like it. It's interesting. I think the one thing Valiant's doing right is picking the right authors of these books.
He was a government experiment, and he was basically kept in a cell, and they'd be like, Bloodshot, wake up! Those dudes that killed your family are these dudes that we need you to go kill. And he'd be like, oh, gotta kill everybody. And he'd go there and he'd kill everybody, and then they'd come back and be like, good job, man, you really avenged your family. And then they'd wipe his memory and do it again like next week or like a month later. Now, because of some things that happened in The Valiant, again,
Giant miniseries.
the miniseries, The Valiant, that Matt Kent and Jeff Lemire wrote, the Geomancer has cured him of his nanite problem, rendering him basically just a dude.
So he's this dude that has all the memories of killing all these people for no reason because all of the revenge and everything was fake. And he's struggling with that. He's a drunk. He's a drunk in a hotel maintaining things, trying to figure out what the hell to do next.
Yeah.
What makes the character interesting now, though?
Well, I mean, we have to talk about it. So he is dealing with him stuff. He is completely alone, and he starts talking to a cartoon version of himself named that he calls Blood Squirt, and it's adorable and scary and weird.
Yeah, I feel like in a lot of Lemire books recently that he's not drawing, he includes
Some of his
art
weird
style.
art. Yeah.
He did that in The Valiant, he did that in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he fell in love with the Geomancer in The Valiant, and now she is kind of influencing him in certain ways, but obviously it's just his...
Maybe. I'm interested.
I guess that's true.
I'm interested to see how it pans out.
And again, back to the writing, Jeff Lemire, he's known for doing really lonely characters. We've got Trillium, Sweet Tooth, New Descender is about that lone robot boy. This is his wheelhouse, and I thought he really excelled at it.
When the first page of this book, when I opened it up, I was skeptical because the character just seems silly to me, and just the look of the character is dumb.
He's visually ridiculous.
But the first page of this book says, "Who is Bloodshot? Red eyes, white skin, guns, lots of guns," and I just laughed because that's exactly the way I think of Bloodshot.
Well, I think that they're playing to that.
And then that's what I'm getting at. Like, this book is hilarious. This issue.
Yeah.
In a couple different ways.
I mean, yeah.
There are laughable moments in this serious book, and the way they get at that is a lot of like meta referencing type of stuff. Like, you get a moment where in one of his Geomancer visions or whatever, she's explaining what happened in the Valiant, and it's like, oh, don't think about how that worked. It's all like whatever. It doesn't make sense. How was I supposed to have like getting rid of your nanites or whatever? Or like this doesn't make any sense. But it's almost like Jeff Lemire is like writing to Matt Kent like this is so stupid what we just did. But it's hilarious. And then you have like Bloodsquirt, and you have
Bloodsquirt's awesome.
Bloodsquirt mentions something about like I wonder when the confrontation comes from outside, he brings up this idea of like I wonder what member of your rogues gallery it is this time. Like it's such a like superhero outside looking in type of thing that they're getting at, and that was just like that was what I liked the best about this issue. It was just it's serious, but it's not taking itself too serious.
Well, yeah.
So like at the end of the issue, Bloodshot is confronted, not physically confronted, but he is aware of another Bloodshot, another guy that looks like him as Bloodshot, white skin, red circle or whatever.
Guns.
Who's
Well, I think there must have been. I'm just assuming that in the history of Bloodshot, there must have been some Bloodshot.
Some trial and error.
Again,
Some
I
Bloodshot
have no
animals.
idea. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't.
Either
But
way,
this
recruited.
second Bloodshot goes on a rampage in a movie theater and kills some people, and I think our character is provided some motivation through just guilt of what he's done and all the people he's killed, and that's what is motivating him forward as Bloodshot again. Maybe these other Bloodshots lead him to some closure.
Yeah. Next video is going to be our very, 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 very favorite comic books of April 2015. So you shouldn't miss it. Thank you for watching.
I have not
This
watched
is the
it.
first part of April's the Hits. Check out part 2.